Welcome back. It is still Good Morning Anambra Tuesday edition, and now we'll start talking about a topic that we'll have for discussion today, which is harnessing children's potential. That's exactly what we're going to look at today, and I've been joined by Mrs. Ifeoma Nemeka. Mrs. Ifeoma Nemeka is a school counselor, and she has joined me to look at this topic today.
Good morning.
Good morning, Ifeoma.
Good morning. It's nice to see you again.
And you too. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Oh, well, we're expecting the second guest that will join us any moment from now. But for now, let's kickstart. Well, popular theory of social science says that children of highly educated professional parents hear about 30 million more words by age 4 than the children of low-income earners. And I know that we all show off our children witty habits for friends and family. No one takes as much pride as parents whose child shows potential and a specific talent. And that's the more reason why we should make frantic efforts to harness their potentials early in life. Okay, Mrs. Ifeoma, by the way, yesterday Nigeria clocked 58 years. Would you say that Nigeria has harnessed her potentials at 58, talking about political, socially, economically, and otherwise?
No. Like I was discussing with somebody yesterday, I said Nigeria is at 58, still wearing diapers.
Diapers?
Yes.
How can a 58-year-old man wearing diapers?
Okay,
maybe the person has problem, bedridden.
They have issues. We are still at that level of infancy. So it's a problem. We've not been able to understand the potentials we have within and around us. No one is thinking about that. We just have one thing in our mind. How do I get my own money? Nobody is thinking of what can I do for this country? I will have to start from my world. But nobody is willing to do it. Look at our world. Look at, around me, around us. What are we doing? So we are still like crawling. We have not started yet.
We've not started at 58.
Telling you, my sons were telling me, Mommy, explain to me. And I said, Nigeria is 58, wearing diaper. And they said, explain. And I started explaining. And I said, it's painful that at 58, we are still where we are.
That's heartbreaking indeed. Oh, well, I know that some renowned psychologists have advised parents and guardians to watch out what their children take to early in life as they play, to determine what they will be in future.
Of course.
Does this really work as we are now looking at harnessing children's potential?
Definitely.
Does it work?
Most times, we parents, when you watch your kids play, you would know exactly this child is going towards this direction. But because we have a mindset, a perception of where we want them to be, we tend to ignore the cues. If the cues are there early in life, this child will be good at this. But we parents have a mindset, this is where I want my child to be. I want my child to follow my footsteps. Like a parent says, I've been using somebody's certificate to import drugs. I want my son to be a pharmacist.
Oh, really?
And when we examine the young man, he is perfectly good in the arts. So tell me, and the father is insisting, I want my son to be...
And that's how it starts when parents start guiding their children
in
the right path. Mothers are wonderful. When I see pictures like this, I know what mothers go through in the house. When you come back tired and then you must do assignments.
Most times they're overloaded with work, tasks.
Yes.
And with being overloaded.
Look at how that one is looking.
Yeah. Overloading them with tasks is not, you cannot get the potential.
A child is supposed to still be playing with toys.
You are
giving him assignment to write this and that.
My daughter came back with 17 textbooks.
Oh my God.
Yes. That is
What class?
primary 3. That's not the right way to
17
get
textbooks for primary
I'm
3.
primary 3. And I shouted and I said, what? Why are they doing this? You know, many schools feel when you overload them with tasks that you get the best, that you are trying. No!
And look at this one, as they're doing the assignments, and then this is where you start watching out.
And explaining. You see, this is a very critical period because this time we expect the teacher or the parents to explain. Explanation helps them to understand the cause and the effect of a thing. It helps them develop this analytical mind and discover who they really are. So now, if this teacher is not explaining or maybe just trying to guide, they will lose it. This is a very critical period. You allow the child just do his thing, then try to explain why this thing is like this.
Yes.
We call it cause and effect.
Okay.
It helps in analytical reasoning. It helps them.
Yeah, we're still talking about watching children play while they're young. You will see them, they will always want to fiddle with maybe iron or try to lose your rechargeable lantern to fix it again and all the rest of things. You know where the guy is going to, where his interest is. But
along the line, I read a book that said from 0 to 4 years, every child is a potential genius. But we parents keep telling them no, no, no. And before you know it, all the brain is accustomed to is no, no, I can't do this, no, I can't do that, no, I cannot explore. So it's a problem. It's a big problem. It's a big problem.
When you keep shutting the child down, okay? I mean, based on what he wants to be, what he wants to achieve for himself, and you will see him tilting towards this, and you'll be pushing him just like Omejiana. If you don't go this way, it chuck a force one to another way. Most times on a fiar, it make the catch you got to go to force it to go the other direction.
The child gets. It's like it's a stiff lawyer, a warrior nerugeru, on not see na shadow of another man's dream. That is a very important aspect I want parents to understand.
And that's why we're looking at it.
Yes.
Let's say everything about it. Yes.
The child now stole in another man's shadow, and the child gets frustrated throughout life, not discovering who he really is. And that's why, I'm not saying you shouldn't say no, no, no. Discover a child. Most times, like when I go to some schools, I discover that most of these children that sit at the back are the creative ones.
Really?
Yes. Because the school system is boring. It's not challenging enough for what is going on in their head. You see them, they go at the back, they make a lot of noise. They
something. No, we can say the teacher.
That is he's a creative. They are called kinesthetic learners. They are visual learners. They want to see. They are not auditory learners. They want to really see what you are teaching them, not hear what you are teaching them. And because the school system is fashioned in a way that we have auditory teachers trying to make all the students auditory learners. I see not the stubborn, not the,
That's something they call teaching aids. Do we still use that to illustrate some of the things that they
most times we don't.
Why?
Oh, the system.
What is wrong with the system?
Most of the teachers don't even understand.
Okay, look at this. You know, children trying to, those things that you teach them, trying to, touch them. That's what in our days they call it
explore.
What do you call it? Teaching aids. Okay, if they tell you that this is a bucket, you touch the bucket. If they tell you that this is this,
and you will not forget it.
You will never forget it.
But these days, my children have not come back and said, "Mommy, they brought a lizard to my class," but they are being taught about lizard. But in our own time, they will ask us to go and get a lizard, bring it to the class. Eventually, the teacher will use only one lizard. But at least everybody has a lizard.
By getting it, you have known what is a
yes.
lizard. So many things that they used to ask us to get them. Get a...
grasshopper. Yes.
Grasshoppers. I said, go to the field, catch a grasshopper.
And it's...
Yes. If there's anybody passing, this is the wing. This is the head.
Was it a child? What is that adaptative features of a cockroach? Oh my God. That this cockroach, you will never forget it. I remember a program I watched as a child. It's called documentary, visual learning. White people, but I don't know the television program that was airing it all the time. You see me seated, and now develop my love for biology. I can do anything in biology without even looking at my book, because they will teach you the mechanism of hearing, and you see it. That thing they call tympanic membrane, you see it vibrating as the sound is coming. So tell me how I can forget it.
You can never forget.
So
you can never forget. And I know that this present administration of Governor Willie Obiano have taken the bull by the horn by venturing into creative industry, by exposing our children to what they ought to know, not just reading and writing or reading for you to just go and look for a white-collar job. But this time there are things you can venture into, like what we have here, the Film Academy, and then what perhaps the state, the government has created, what do you call it, skill acquisitions here and there, okay, for you to acquire skill and then find out where your potential lies, okay? It's not necessary going to read political science, read this and that. So what do you have to say about that?
Let me just say something before I respond. I was in a school and I was telling them to go to look at photography. And I know most of you like, pictures. They started laughing. And I said to them, today I know they pay some people, photographers, 2 million to cover a program. Yes. And I said that the world is changing. So you need to change with it. But they don't understand. They still feel, I want to study law. I want to be a pharmacist. And I said, what is that thing within you? It is advisable that every parent will look at the child and see the area the child will fit. Then allow the child go through every holiday, instead of going for all these holiday lessons. Allow the child to have a feel of it. Just all you need to do is, every holiday, go back there, allow the child to have a feel of it.
Yes.
The child will come out better.
You're talking about a skill acquisition.
Yes.
You learn bead making, you can even come to ABS, like photography,
yes,
everything, cinema, all
cinematography,
and all whatever you call them, you have them here, okay? Film making, editing, whatever. Okay.
Like when you tell somebody you're going to be an editor, your skill is saying that you're going to be a good editor or a reporter. And they say, which one is editor or a reporter?
I want to be a lawyer.
I say, okay, go and study it. Go and read, Google it. Who is an editor? Who is a reporter? And you discover that's your area. Don't go and toe in another man's shadow. Parents have a big role to play.
And that's where we have another problem. The skill acquisitions are there, and then there are so many areas that the government have created for us to have our youth to harness their potentials. But how do we get this youth to buy into all this? Because that's another problem we have. Okay? To be able to harness their potentials. How do we get them to buy into this? Because a whole lot of them still want to go to the main market and make their monies in millions, be a trader, do this and that. Some want to venture into politics even without going through schools and all the rest of them. How do we get the youth to buy into all these things and then be able to harness their
changing
potential?
Their mindset. Already the mistake has been done, but we need to correct it with these little ones growing up. But the youth out there have lost interest in academics. They've also lost interest in anything. All they want is money. What can give us quick money? I'm going around schools and I know what they think is, I want to be a politician because there is money. But they don't know we have poor politicians too. Now, what we do is orientation. We need to talk to them. We need to keep saying it. We need to change the mindset that you need to acquire a skill for you to be stable in life. Follow that dream. Don't do something that is harmful, because maybe when you were going through school or through the stages of your life, you lost interest in people, you lost interest in school, and you feel you cannot get your own way, do your own thing. No, we need to bring them back. Orientation. That's why you see, let me digress a bit. We have a lot of cultism in schools. The Bible said something, when you don't create a good system that could fit the people, they create their own system. What we are having now is failure of the society.
Really?
Yes. Because if you look at the way they are just joining the cultism, they are looking, you see, they have adolescent brain.
And why do you think the society has failed?
You see, we fail, like what I said now, the school is not challenging enough.
The school that will give your child 13 subjects at primary 3, I'll be 17 subjects. They are not challenging enough.
They are loading the tasks, but it's not challenging. They are just loading the children with tasks. Do this homework, do this homework. That is not giving a child might go through 3 or 4 subjects a day, but let that subject be challenging. That from there you discover this child has this innate ability to do this. Not overload the child with so many things. Anybody that passes, you say, okay, you phonics, okay, bring it, okay, we will do it in this school. No, that is not the aim. We are closing these children off. We are stifling its homage. We are just killing it. It is not by the schools should pay attention, not by overloading them with tasks that you discover their innate ability. You give them something that is challenging. My student knows that if you make noise in the class, I don't flog you. I give you a program to run. Yes.
Especially some of them that will not want to see that.
And they will never make noise again, because when you're through with that program, I don't need to flog you. What am I flogging you for? I'll tell you to write an article or that you're going to do a presentation before the whole student. It's challenging, but most of them have discovered that, oh, Auntie, I can really present. Auntie, I can really write.
Yeah, through that punishment,
yes.
Instead of flogging them. This program is interactive, please. So you can call in with the numbers on your screen and make a contribution. We're looking at harnessing children's potential. What do we do? Can we discover Omaka early in life? Doctor, lawyer, mana and other areas I venture into and get our children busy. Sometimes you even find out that some of these children that were sent abroad to go and read it, I know so many of them that were to go and read medicine, go and read law, they came back as musicians. Okay? And then you keep wondering, you're saying that that's what he ever wanted to be, but the parents stopped him. So what do we do? Because I don't know if he push because maybe you have a hospital, you have a hospital, you want your child to take over your hospital, and then was there a hospital? Because now potential. That's what we're saying.
Like most schools are now, I advise people, we have career tests for especially the youth that have missed it. And they have a formed mindset. In a school I went to, we discovered the young man is a commercial student. But he came to me and said, Auntie, I've made up my mind. I will make a law. He said, this is your area, because the career test we run has career potentials, career opportunities. The test, what to the test today, designed for. And I said, this is your area, but I have to tell you the truth. But if you really want to succeed, this is the area you will succeed in life. And I would tell some, you see your area, you are good with handworks. You are going to be a wood maker, a fashion designer. And sometimes they would tell you, yes, that's been my desire, but I don't know if my parents will agree. I don't know. So
for the music makers.
Yes.
Okay.
I like this. The new trend in schools, because in our own time we don't have this.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's encouraging to know that most schools have this now.
Very, very encouraging.
Because of the kinesthetic learners, they have to do with their hands. If you see a child that keep touching, you leave the child, he will touch this, he will touch the flower. He bali and baranka, you will touch, just like that. Know that that child is a kinesthetic learner.
Really?
Yes. It's something to do with his hand. He's looking for the plug, how to touch the electricity.
And it can be very irritating.
Very irritating, but and when you keep saying, no, don't do this, the creativity keeps going down. Don't do, you know what you do? What is this area? If it's music, get a keyboard. get a guitar. Get him to
And
channel
engage
the
him.
energy to something creative. And you see him, he will keep developing. And that area, he will do well. But when you keep telling him, my friend, will you sit down? You want him to behave like your first daughter. Assuming your first daughter is the type that reads. Like my daughter, the first one reads. You entered inside the room and she will read. But the other ones are not like that. So I cannot train them just like the first one.
Discover your child
Yeah,
early
don't
in
keep
life.
shouting them no. No, keep quiet.
I'm talking about harnessing potential. Do you know that some of these children, you see them like I asked earlier, if you're a car, or to sing cotin and car, now join here, within two choice for kitchen comment, you watch that child very well. He encourage you, we can be a good woodmaker. You wouldn't know. Manasi kita isi okamwa mjelo carpenter. Managi jezie ki jefu je kwe ocho je na one of these big shops. Ki kwe one set of seats on ka gwa ki hono ne. You got to go even you want to change the one you have in your house, gwa ki hono ne. These guys are making their money now. You got to go so onwere ife the useless. Onwere call the useless. If nke ebe nwa gi na eje encourage the person. Na ebo game off ma. Eje imports all this home furniture, bunati buy na egwe millions of naira, hundreds of thousands. Man no madu melia. Man choro ka nwa ge bolo carpenter. Yotago.
Because of the way we are now packaging. He got Abuja, got Lagos, and we go. Many of these young boys they go the machine. If you are now, in fact, get one way you cannot do when you can hear away from. Yes. So the only thing is trying to recreate your brand.
Recreate your brand. Okay, moving ahead now. We're still looking at harnessing children's potential. And I know that people who have succeeded in life by harnessing their talents and skills like football, talking of Mikel Obi, when you talk of music, Esfino, Flavor, P-Square, and then talk of writing, Chimamanda Adichie, so many of them have succeeded in harnessing their potentials early in life. So what do we do now to encourage our people, just as we have been saying, that this is not all about reading and writing. These guys who are mentioned now are great guys, okay? Even when they are not going about with their CVs looking for a job anywhere, but they have made it in life. So how do we encourage our people?
First of all, I want to encourage the youth. If you are doing something and they keep telling you you're different, know that you're different. You're a creative person. And even when your parents or anybody want to stamp you down, please, politely, tell them this is where you want to go. That you want to follow your heart. It's not everybody that discovers this potential because of the no early in life. But if you're one of those that have this potential, you really want to, I advise you to follow your heart. All you need is guidance. Then, for the parents, we need to encourage these ones. We don't stamp our, validating our own, what we want, and say, this is what you want, I want it to be. Help them, validate their interests. Help them to really know that, oh, this thing I'm doing is good. Then help them to really rebrand it and refine. Okay, maybe assuming the child is good with the hands. What area of the hands? Is it electrical? Is it wood making? Is it designing? What area of the hands? Is it, or photography? But you know that this child, what do you do as a mother? Buy the toys that looks like what you want and see how he or she plays with it.
Responds to it.
Yes. If the interest keep on increasing, keep on getting something that will engage him. The problem why we say no is because we don't even know what to do as parents.
That's what I wanted to say. You don't give what you don't have.
Yes.
Okay, even as a parent, you do. So do you have anything, a platform whereby you talk to parents too?
Yes.
Because it's not just enough talking here. A lot of them are in the markets now. So do you have a platform where you talk to parents, maybe in PTA meetings?
Yes. Once in a while in the schools, I go around some schools and I talk to their parents.
Okay.
Yes, and I tell them to Don't let these children keep watching the television.
Okay.
That is another thing that destroys the creativity of a child.
Television.
You know, because of the no, okay, stop doing that, or you put on the cartoon, let him watch.
I see.
Yes, and the child will just be there, and you see the creativity will keep going down.
Okay, thank you very much. I'd like to thank you very much for coming today, Mrs. Ifeoma Nnemeka.
Thank you.
You're a school counselor. You have joined us this morning to look at this topic, harnessing children's potential. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay.